Alright, what's up guys? So, Hot T, she has uploaded another video talking on this situation regarding Gabbie Hanna. Whoa, wait a minute, time out. Okay. Regarding Gabbie Hanna, alright? And this Daniel and everybody else, don't watch if anger issues are. Dang, this is gonna be a wild one. Alright, so anyways, but first things first, before I get into this video, I just want to overall say, like, look, this is my friend. Ray is my friend. I'm always going to show love and support to her channel. There's never going to be a time where I'm not going to be not showing love and support to her channel. So if you don't like her channel, if you don't like T channels, if you don't like none of that stuff, okay, that is your preference. I like these videos. I'm going to watch these videos. I am going to react to these videos. So don't come here thinking it's like you got ownership of my channel just because I want to show support to my friend. Like, that type of stuff I just don't get. But yeah, I'm going to show support to my friend's channel regardless of whatever she's doing. So anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. Make sure you subscribe to Hot T and her personal channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. But anyways, let's get into this video. The music, it kind of
Hey guys,
like,
welcome back to my channel. In today's episode,
disordered. I gotta get those two words separated. But anyways,
going through the whole Gabbie and everyone else involved in the drama that we've been talking about for days. We're going to be looking at Daniel Preda's video response in response to Gabbie's series. There is a lot to cover, so buckle up. But before we dive in, I first want to apologize for my poor audio quality. I am just moving and I lost my microphone. I know I suck, but I'm sorry. Also, make sure to subscribe, turn your post notifications on. Alright, whatever. Let's get into the tea. As we know, Gabbie has been releasing her series addressing every drama that she's been in the past week or so. We've covered everything so far, so make sure to check out my last videos for context. And in response to her addressing the Escape the Night drama, Daniel and Joey made their video. We already went through Joey's, so in this one we're going to be looking into Daniel's movie-long video on it. It had all the receipts and more. So to start off, Daniel said Gabbie used ADHD as an excuse and her behavior was extremely rude and unprofessional. Daniel spoke of his experience with mental health issues and how he does not think it's an excuse for the way somebody acts.
I know who I am, and I do not let...
Yeah, it's like I've dealt with people like that. They always try to find an excuse. I just never thought that there would be an excuse for calling me the N-word. Like, that's legit. Like, people, they're all like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm autistic, so I don't know the difference between, you know, racism and whatever other things they try to compare it to." But yeah, it's you know, it's stuff like that where I'm just like, yeah, I think it's, you know, autism. You can't hide behind that. It's I'm sorry. Like, I just feel like when you put yourself in that situation where you type up, "Hey, African American fellow on YouTube, I'm gonna call you a derogatory name," like. It's a more like cut down, like they just go straight to it and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, there's people out there that'll do stuff like that. But anyways,
my issues with mental health reflect who I am as a person. When I come on set, I'm there to work, and that is something that I had a major issue with in Gabbie's video. Her using that as an excuse is not an excuse.
He said that a lot of the issues began in season 2. He said a lot of her behavior then was reflected in season 4 as well. He mentioned a lot of tension and jealousy from Gabbie towards other female co-stars. Many issues occurred with everybody, but Gabbie was the most problematic and she was the common denominator. Then he talked about Gabbie being rude to Tana and Liza specifically.
I think one of the biggest issues of season 2 was the clash between Gabbie and a lot of the other female co-stars. Gabbie was extremely rude to Tana. Tana was very new to fame, to influence, to having a following at the time, and there was a lot of bullying from Gabbie's end to Tana, which I believe Tana has talked about publicly many times. And the same thing with Liza. I really think there was just a weird dynamic of having somebody who's a competitor from Vine and YouTube on the same show that you are, and I really think that Gabbie was just not confident in herself and needed to...
So it's crazy, because it was like, they were... Are we talking about, like, Liza? Like, the Liza we all know? Like, because if that's... I'm like, weren't they cool in, like, David's videos and stuff? I know they would do, like, comedy... Well, then again, I'm like, I think I did talk on that, how, like, you know, people just don't work well together. And it's like, yeah, it's or I mean, like out personally, they're just, you know, opposites, can't be around each other, none of that. But like in the work area where it's like, okay, you know, I ain't gotta be around them for that long, so I'm just gonna do my thing. But yeah, that's crazy. If they talk about Liza Koshy, is that her? I don't know, but anyway,
up and act like a massive diva on set just to outshine everyone else.
Daniel said that at the end of the day, Gabbie was very entertaining on camera, despite acting like a diva and causing harm to others behind the scene.
That.
Moving on, Daniel talks about how season 4 was planned. He said that they didn't actually beg Gabbie to be part of the cast, which, if you remember, she claimed in her video about Escape the Night that she really didn't want to be a part of the 4th season, but Joey and Daniel begged her and insisted on her taking part in it. From then, he explained that it benefited Gabbie way more than the production itself to be on the show, since the show is giving the creator a whole new audience, a whole new platform. The show was a YouTube original, therefore it's heavily promoted, and overall it would be much more beneficial to her.
It is on a massive platform. You're on billboards all across the United States. You're paid, obviously. You are hand-selected by executives, or you're allowed to be by the top executives at YouTube. Your videos are also pushed into another algorithm because you're being seen more on a weekly basis.
After that, Daniel talked about how the production went.
Good.
He said that they had 2 options for the cast. Either they could stay at a hotel by the location of the shooting that is paid for them, or they could have a private driver every night bringing them to set and back to their house. He also said that they could do a combination of both, which sounds really nice,
RV?
not gonna lie. Then he showed a few clips of the trailers. He called out Gabbie by saying that there were plenty of options and people were accommodated by
That's the trailer? Fam, do you understand? They probably would have had to. They had been like banging on the door. I'd been laid out with like a box of M&Ms asleep on the bed and stuff. Bro, if that's, bruh. Like, how could you be? I'm like, hey, yo, like, just make sure y'all got like a video game console. I'll bring my own video game console. I'm like, I'm good on that. But, yeah, I freaking bring my computer and just play games off of that. But, seriously, how could you be upset? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, maybe I just, you know, I haven't really experienced, like, that Hollywood life enough. Because, yeah, you know, you see some things like this, you're just like, hey, yo, this place look kind of nice. Like, that's crazy.
Requirements and needs. He said that him and Joey actually paid
got
out of their own
vitamins,
pockets to make sure everybody was taken care of. He showed more pictures of the trailers and more footage of behind the scenes.
Hey,
moving
what's
on,
the sugar-free
Daniel
Red
mentioned
Bulls? I know they probably, yeah. I probably would have acted like Gabbie Hanna. They don't have regular Red Bulls, so you gotta put on the show. No, I'm playing. Like, my thing is like, yeah, if I'm in another person's like workplace, I'm like, I would drink the sugar-free Red Bulls. I might not like the flavor, but I'm just like, hey, yo, like, you know, I'm in your guys' place of business. If this would have been my own place of business, then yeah, of course I'll get the Red Bulls that I like, but anyways.
Bollinger, who just gave birth to her child right before filming, and how she, as a new mother, was very professional and supportive. She had a private, smaller trailer since, you know, she had to breastfeed and to take care of her baby. Then he talked about the first day of filming, and he showed a clip of Gabbie and how excited she seemed to be on set.
Here she is.
Out of breath.
Yeah.
Oh my god, anytime we have to run for the challenges, I'm done
It's over.
Done for, but guess what?
Oh,
Stunning.
wait, give a turn. Gorgeous.
As you can see, she's living for it. She loved how she looked.
His next point was that after the first day, he got a lot of feedback from other females that Gabbie was rude and because of her attitude. He said that at this point, he thought now her actions are affecting others from the cast. If it was just him, he would be past that, but because it was affecting other cast members,
that's
and
how I am. I'm like, once when other people start getting affected by like whoever, I'm like, okay, now I gotta step in and be like, hey, yo, you either need to calm it down or take that energy like 10 miles down the street. But like, you can't be here carrying on like that. That's why I'm like, yeah, I probably would have had it where people had been crying. Because I probably, if this would have been like my situation where I got these YouTubers and stuff and then Gabbie's sitting there bullying people, I probably have called her out like right there on the spot. Like, forget this recording stuff. I'm like, hey, yo, is there a problem that you have with the other cast members? They have been kind of looking at me just like, I'm just sitting there looking at her. I'm just like, okay, because if so, it's like you either got to go or you got to work out your differences that you have with them and continue on with this show. But it's like, we ain't come out here for that. We ain't come out here to, you know, you keep that energy at home. When we're here, we're working together. We cool. If you can't be cool, then it's like, hey, yo, you can kindly call an Uber, like, and, you know, you can still stay in the trailer for the 5-10 minutes the Uber is going to take to show up. because you know that's usually how long Ubers be taking. But yeah, I'm like, you can't be coming to another person's place of business and be acting crazy and stuff.
Workers on set, he was just like, we can't have a toxic environment. That's not okay.
At the end of day one, a female YouTuber came up to Joey and I. She came up to Joey and I and asked to be killed off the show as soon as possible because she was extremely uncomfortable with Gabbie Hanna and how she was acting on set.
Then Daniel spoke about the differences in filming as one
crazy.
YouTuber with just a camera and a whole production team and set. That was in response to a clip from Gabbie's video where she talked about the late night shoots.
This absurdly ridiculous call time, and I literally told the producer no. So I'd literally just be sitting there for fucking ever.
Like I said, the hours were long, and what we say in the industry is something, if you guys have ever worked on a set before, it's a lot of hurry up and wait. Hurry up, get to set, oh wait, we're not ready for you, go back, sit down. This is how it works. It's not about you, it's a group effort.
Daniel spoke about how everyone's time matters and everybody has to work as a team and as a crew. He said working on a set is extremely difficult and different from filming on your own.
You need to go in with a positive attitude, wanting to create something amazing, and that's what we were doing. However, it's not easy working conditions. We're filming for anywhere from 12 to 15-hour days.
Next, he talked about the costumes. He said that the reason Gabbie's costume didn't fit properly was because obviously she didn't attend 2 of 3 costume fittings. That's also what Joey said in his response, which watch my previous video for more context. And that's actually also what Rosanna said in her tweet. So I think we have some good evidence that Gabbie did not, in fact, show up to 2 out of 3 fittings. Which I don't understand how she thought that was okay at all. Like, what world does this girl live in where she can just not show up to like 2/3 of her job? What the fuck? What Daniel shared on the
well, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys follow sports or not, but there's the one basketball player, Dennis Rodman, that he didn't show up for, so there's this documentary on Netflix, in case y'all want to check it out, called The Last Dance. It talks on the basketball team, the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, a bunch of other different players outside the Chicago Bulls, but it focuses on them, and it focuses on the challenges they had like throughout the duration that Jordan was signed to the Bulls, and then everybody else and stuff. But they also talk on the point where Dennis Rodman, like a key player for the team, legit like skipped out on practice. And I think, as I remember, I think it was like for the playoffs or something like that. It was either the playoffs, finals. It was like some important games. But I mean, all games are important. But anyways, this dude legit skipped out on practice to go be in Vegas, to go and he appeared on wrestling. What other things did he do? So yeah, it's like there's people out there where it's just, you know, they'll show up when they want to show up, but if they got some free time to just do whatever, it's like, you know, they'll do that. But anyways,
costumes pretty much lines up with what we've already heard from Joey, and here is a text between Daniel and an executive. They were like, Gabbie is officially on the show. Not only did she make blank, who is 9 months pregnant, to drive all the way to her studio in Porter Ranch today at 5 p.m, but she legit left early and isn't available all night to get fitted. So we'll have to pick her outfit for her, and it won't be fitted. It's the biggest you. She canceled on us yesterday too.
Hey,
like, I just don't understand.
There's like 298 messages, fam. I'll leave it at like maybe a couple. When it done got to like probably like that 5 mark, oh, I gotta check the messages. I gotta see what's going on. I'm like, I can't let my messages get that. My emails maybe, because I just look at the headline part of the email. I'm like, I already know what that is. But yeah, my messages, oh, I can't let them get that bad.
How Gabbie had the audacity to complain about costumes at all when she didn't show up to 2 fittings. Like, girl, aren't you embarrassed? Next was the part where Gabbie talked about her eating and getting triggered due to what was going on set. Daniel said that he would be sensitive to that subject, and he said that he was sorry that happened, but he also wanted to remind her that there were options available for her. He said that if there were any issues, Gabbie could have talked to the kitchen and gotten it resolved.
I will be sensitive to that, and if that's the case, I completely respect it, and I'm sorry that happened. However, I will not be lied on saying that there were not options for you.
I'm giving you these very clear things that I need. I need to meet my dietary restrictions.
Weeks before production starts, everybody is sent a ton of paperwork talking about your preferences, allergies, what you want to eat on set. None of that was filled out. Period.
Then Daniel reads a few texts between him and Gabbie. The texts show Daniel clearly going out of his way to go shopping for Gabbie specifically. Like, that was not in his job description, by the way, but he would just like go grocery shopping, grab snacks.
I was like, yeah, she approached me. I wish a person would like come out, or you know, it's like overall, like if I'm doing my thing, I'm sitting here trying to be a director. I'm like, okay, you stand right there. I'm like, all right, you know, you just be spinning around in circles, not too fast, because I don't want you to fall down, and I want you to be smiling, not like a big, but you know, like just, you know, like a smile. And you see like somebody walk, okay, and then Gabbie Hanna walks up on me talking about, I need some vegetarian food. I just probably looked at him like, okay, there's a car over there, some car keys right there, and just went back. I'm like, you a grown woman, like you shouldn't be up there. My thing is like, you should be no grown woman throwing a fit over some food. It's like, fam, you either don't eat what we got, or go out and get you something to eat. I think that's just, you know, how it is. Like, you know, I definitely, like, I treat a work environment like a black household. Like, you know, you ain't gonna get no special, you know, privileges and stuff, because you want these special privileges and things. So anyways, but yeah, that's how I would treat that.
And drinks.
I pulled this completely out of my ass. I wasn't going to Whole Foods. I'm like, let me appease Gabbie. Let me go make her some salads each day. It's not a big deal, even though that was not in my job description, but we didn't have a budget for me to have my own assistant this season.
And a lot of the times he would go over budget because
crazy.
apparently YouTube was only paying them like $500 a week for food, and he was going over. So he was paying out of pocket. He specifically asked, like, let me know if you want anything, and she was just like, I need hella healthy shit, or else I'll eat all the chips, LMAO. Like, be specific if you are such a specific person in terms of your diet. And then
because you know that he'll go out and get some like healthy foods, and then she'll be that type of person, and she's like, oh no, no, can't eat that. I'm like, you gonna eat that, because guess what that says? That says HEALTHY. That says healthy. You gonna eat this healthy food. Yeah, I think it's best if I'm not in no situation like this. That's why it's probably good for this Daniel guy to be in a situation like this, because I definitely, I'm not cut out for stuff like that,
there are also
man.
these texts, just like her kind of being a tiny bit bitchy about the internet. Like, not too bad, but, you know, she was just, like, not being the sweetest. She needed to upload a video, and she was just like, what's the internet like on set? And Daniel was so sweet, like, offering to buy her a portable router from Target for the trailer. And then just, like, randomly being like, when do we get a meal? Like, just rude. You know, rude. He sent her a bunch of options, which included, like, veggie curry and beans and strawberry and green salad and fruit. And she was just like, my stomach hurts so bad from eating shit I'm not supposed to eat. Like, what do you mean you're not supposed to be eating fruit or like veggie curry or I don't know, strawberry and green salad? Like, how dare you? And also, Gabbie posted these texts herself,
so you can hear it in Ray's voice. She probably would have been, you know, also treating the area like a black household. So that's why I'm like, hey, you know, we're all on the same page
in
here.
her video as well. So I don't know how she was expecting people to like understand her side, because she immediately was just like, we only had snacks. Like, clearly there's like food here, there's like penne and there's ground beef. Obviously not everything's going to be healthy, because not everybody on set can be forced to eat healthy in order to avoid triggering your eating disorder. You know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds terrible, but that's just facts.
There were so many options. Not one other person had an issue with any of the food on set. Was it 5-star? Absolutely not. This is production. We have catering. We have crafty services. But guess what? That's not what we're here for. This is not a 5-star restaurant or resort. This is a production.
And then she was like, did my agents tell you guys my meal requirements? And Daniel's just like, bitch, this is not my job. Like, I'm a fucking producer. Stop talking to me about my food.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I'm honestly like on the verge of tears. I'm so specific about food, and I've been eating bad shit and feel fat, and my stomach hurts from eating literally anything I can with substance.
She's playing the victim. She's putting her blame on her agents, who it's not her agent's job to fill out paperwork and tell me what they want. If she doesn't communicate that with them, they're not going to communicate with me.
And like, mind you, Gabbie did not even fill out the dietary requirements form in time. Just for her to be acting like this is ridiculous. Overall, Daniel said that there were options for Gabbie. She could have even postmated herself other food, even if she wasn't satisfied with what was given. But apparently she chose not to because she didn't want to spend her own money. Keep in mind that they are getting paid thousands of dollars to be here. Daniel said that he was confused on why
Nah. I'm like, you can't spend your own money. You are Gabbie Hanna, formerly known as The Gabbie Show. Do you not have money to pay for your own food? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it's, you know, it's good to see things like this so I don't end up in situations. So I'm like, okay, let me just take breathers, relax, and just, not, take this to another level. But anyways.
Gabbie didn't show these texts when she went off on him. Daniel said that he was confused as to why Gabbie didn't show the texts that she went off on them. He said that he went above and beyond to accommodate her needs.
Yeah.
He did much more than his job requirements, and it was all because he wanted to create a good and healthy environment for everybody and avoid a toxic atmosphere due to her behavior. And he said that she's trying to create a false narrative. From then, he talked about what was happening on set, people being yelled at by Gabbie, her storming off. He said that she even mentioned that in her own video. Then he talked about Tana and Gabbie's toxic relationship. He said that they were not good together. Both of them went off on each other.
I was a bitch and an asshole. One of the producers let it slip that they were like killing me off.
So that day it was decided that Gabbie and Tana would have a double elimination. However, both of them together were not good.
But he made a comparison on Tana's part in the show. Like in season 2, she was this horrible mess that we know her to be, but apparently on season 4, she got her shit together, which sounds like an alternative reality, but we all know, how unprofessional Tana is. But besides that, Gabbie and Tana together were unbearable, apparently.
Again, it's just these two strong, very passionate women who go head to head, and I just think their clash was not good for the other people on set.
After that, Daniel talked about the interview portion. Gabbie mentioned in her video that she had to wait around a lot during her filming of the interviews. She was constantly rescheduled for them and so on. But apparently that is not true. Daniel said Gabbie's schedule was more important to her than doing her job on set, meaning she was constantly falling behind on the interviews. So do you guys remember in Gabbie's video where she was like, I was just sitting and ready in order to do my interviews, and all of these people would come up to me and be like, hey, let's do your interview, and then they would disappear on her and be like, never mind, not ready for you. Apparently what actually happened is this, and this is a text that got sent to Daniel from, I don't know, someone on set. So he talked to our talent producer team, and every time she was told to be ready and on standby for the interview, she wasn't ready. Either her hair or makeup wasn't done, or she wanted to eat. This just annoys me so much. How is her eating like such a big issue? How has it come up so many times? The pecking order moved on to the next YouTuber, so naturally Gabbie fell behind in interviews. That's why she is needed. When she is originally asked last night to come in at 2:15 to make up for that time lost, she said, oh no, I'm not doing that. That's truly what happened. It's behind us. She will be there at 2:15. This is ridiculous, man.
I had an email from my agent saying, Gabbie, you can't refuse to do interviews. And I was like, I'm not refusing to do interviews.
So yes, that right there is a refusal to work. That was the only time slot that we had available for you, Gabbie, to do your interviews, and you didn't want to do it. And yes, that went back to YouTube, and that went back to your lawyer.
Yeah, my thing is like, when there's something that I'm doing, if I'm eating, or if there is something that I need to do and I'm eating, I would legit like set my food down, cover it up, because there could be particles and stuff floating around, so cover it up, legit like put on my like one of my mini Jordans, running, all right, to make sure I do this, wipe the sweats down, sit up straight, act like I'm taking like a school photo, and I will do my interview. Like, what's so hard about that? Yeah, it's stuff like that where I'm like, fam, I hope it never gets to a point in time, like, well, I mean, I do hope it gets to a point in time where I'm able to do like full-on production, like videos and stuff, with other YouTubers and things, or something along these lines. But if I ever work with somebody like that, I just hope that I'm just so content with life that I don't snap on them.
And that went back to your agents, and that's why you got the email.
Then Daniel expressed that he knows what it's like working on set. He has experience in working for hours upon hours for minimal pay, and that's why he was trying to accommodate everybody. He said that he respects everybody else.
It's like still, but it's like, you gotta like give it your all, so it's like you can work your way up to like the big leagues if that's what you're aiming for. But I mean, even if you're not, like, still, like, give it your all. My thing is like, I'm not making the best amount of money with YouTube, but I still give each and every video my all. What I can do right now for the moment, I will give it everything that I got. I'm not going to do the bare minimum. I'm going to do, like, the maximum minimum, if that makes sense. I don't know. It sounded cool in my head, but saying it, it's like, does it make sense? I don't know, but anyways, but yeah, like, I'm not gonna, like, just half it and things, and it's like, I'm not at a point where I can half things. Like, I either have to, it needs to be above half, so.
set
But
because he knows
anyways.
it's about teamwork. The reason why the double kill happened between Tana and Gabbie was because Tana had to be on another show and Gabbie was very, very rude and disrespectful to the crew. And to top it all off, here is the point where Daniel snapped on her.
So, on the day of the key art shoot, she did show up. Not only did she show up herself, but she brought her disgusting behavior on set. I felt I was like walking on eggshells the entire day. Again, she was making people uncomfortable.
When they had to shoot for the marketing and billboards, they had to reschedule several times due to weather conditions, and Gabbie was complaining about having to change her schedule around the productions. In their text, Gabbie is so unreasonable, trashes her agents, and basically she blames them for another commitment, which was her going to the gym. She put her gym schedule ahead of a job that she is contracted to do. Daniel said that he was furious at that point.
She sound like she got like some OCD stuff going on. Like, not to make the assumption, but that's what it kind of sounds like.
He had not slept in days. He's exhausted. In the text, he's letting her know that there is no other way. They can't reschedule the shooting. She has to be on time, which like makes sense. Just think about it. There's like 10 other people just on the cast, right? And then who knows, like 20, 30, 40 other people on the crew. We don't know. Literally, these like 100 people have to change their schedule to meet Gabbie's. That just doesn't make sense.
That's
and
crazy.
even if it was like something important, if she had to like catch a flight and couldn't like physically make it in time, that would be one thing. But for all these people to change their schedule for her to go to the gym, that's just ridiculous. In which Gabbie responds by talking about being killed off the show due to her not getting her healthy meals. She had the audacity to talk about when she needs to eat her meals. Daniel said that at that point he was panicking and he talked to the producers and the people at YouTube because this photo shoot was for all of the promo shoots. Like, they couldn't just not have Gabbie in it, you know? So this was like really, really important. And at some points they were like even thinking about having a stunt double for Gabbie and then photoshopping her face onto it. Like, it was the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, keep in mind that Gabbie legally needs to show up to this. Like, she signed a contract saying that she would do this. So YouTube could have taken legal action had she not shown up. Daniel went on to say that he's not trying to push any narrative, he's just trying to tell the truth and show what actually happened. After that, he said that he was trying to talk to lawyers and see what they could do, so Gabbie completes what she is obliged to do by her contract. They thought of hiring a double and digitally editing it, like Gabbie's photo was taken. She ended up showing up for the marketing shoot, thank God. Then Daniel talks about how the shoot went on, and in one instance when Gabbie was told by a production assistant that they are running a little behind, they had to push her call a little bit. The PA left and Gabbie scoffed in a very loud way, "You dumb fucking cunt." Multiple people heard that one, including him and Rosanna Pansino and other talents. He said it was very unprofessional, truly disgusting, and showed what type of a person she was. Daniel also added that at that point he just chose to send her home since they had 70% of what she had to shoot for the day. But he thought it was enough, he didn't want that behavior to continue. And also, like, keep in mind that PAs are the most, like, low-paid people on set, and they're probably doing the most amount of work, so they're already on like a ton of pressure, and for Gabbie to just add that onto her really, really speaks to me about the kind of person that she is. And I know she has accepted the fact that she was a bitch during that time, and she, you know, was unmedicated, she was recovering from all of these other scandals, but it's no excuse to talk to somebody like that, especially when they're like technically like at a lower position than you know? And lastly, he mentioned I'm
like, you know, I don't care how much of a bad bro, and I'm telling you, I've had some days where I'm just like, next person that says or do some crazy stuff towards me, I'm legit spinning my whole body to a 360, 60 mile per hour speed, okay? Lifting my leg up as high as I can, and I'm doing a spinning back kick, and I'm taking somebody's head off. I've gotten to that point, but there are people where I'm like, if I'm that mad and I see somebody like, you know, messing up on things, I just like I get to that point in me where I'm just like, okay, you know, I gotta take that anger out, set it right there, just pat them on the back and just be like, hey, look, it's cool, I got you. Like, there, and I'm telling you, at my old job, I had some of the worst days, bro. Worst days. Customer come through there, waste coffee grounds all over the place. My thing is like, yeah, they're in a much more higher position than me, you know, especially at that place. But when they come down to your job, it's like, technically you're in a higher, because I mean you're the one like you bringing up the food, serving the food, all that stuff. But anyways, doesn't even matter. But they would like waste coffee grounds all over the place, and then they're just, you know, they're so embarrassed, and they got all these things that they're working on and doing, and I'm just like, hey, don't worry about it. Get your coffee, like, you know, like I'm not like saying it in a rude way, but I'm like, hey, yo, don't worry about it. Coffee's on me today. Hey, yo, do your thing, all right? Kill it today. Have a good day, okay? But yeah, it's like I will never be that type of. If it's like a friend of mine's, and that's like, you know, if we're just messing up, then I'm like, oh my god, again, really? But I'm like, but I'm joking. Like, I ain't taking. I mean, being serious about it. If anything, I'll help them out if I'm gonna be serious about it. But yeah, it's people like that where I'm just like, hey yo, just take you, just go, just go far over there. But anyway,
collab that he did with Gabbie on her house makeover, as well as the Christmas party situation. He said for the collab, another YouTuber who was a DIYer was supposed to do a room in Gabbie's house, but just felt too uncomfortable and decided to pull out. And he just wanted to fill in for her, and even though he wanted to cancel as well, he just didn't want there to be like an entire like dramatic situation, so he ended up just doing it. In regards to the Christmas party, Daniel said that at the time, Gabbie was going through a scandal and he didn't want to invite her to the party. She texted him asking if it was about her, that tweet that he made about people being naughty and nice, and he said that it was not. Also, he didn't invite Trisha either because he knew that she didn't get along with some of his friends and that she was aware of him not wanting to make people uncomfortable. And also, by the way, you guys, like, Daniel never invited either Gabbie or Trisha to begin with, and I think that's where I think I kind of misunderstood what happened in one of my last videos. I thought Daniel initially invited Gabbie and then uninvited her for no reason, and that's why I called him super fake. But I mean, technically he's not like obliged to like invite anybody. He never invited Gabbie. He never uninvited her either. I don't know. He said that he wasn't going to try to cancel or throw hate on anybody, but he wasn't going to let his name get dragged through the mud as well. He commented and pinned his own comment saying, monetization is on, y'all, because this was a giant waste of all of our time, but it needed to be done. Thank you for watching.
Do your thing, man.
Says, when Gabbie says she's establishing boundaries, I think she means she's trying to establish how far she can push the boundaries of others. You and Joey clearly went above and beyond, spending your own money to fill the trailer with treats and make custom bathrobes. As someone who also loves to make little thoughtful gifts.
Alright, you know, because I'm just, that's just me being like, that's like a friendly petty though, because I'm cool with Ray, but I'm just saying, you got an email, just throwing it out there. But anyways, moving on. For
someone just for the hell of it, I can't imagine how draining it must have been for someone to keep telling you it's not enough. Someone else says, makes sense why Gabbie was shadow banned. She literally totally disrespected YouTube through Escape the Night and then wondered why YouTube stopped promoting her. She had a reputation that nobody knew about behind the scenes, and then she uses it to be a victim. Wow. Alright, you guys, I really want to know your thoughts on all of this, so make sure to comment down below.
Yeah, she's toxic.
That was it for today's video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I post new videos every single day.
Bro, it's like a light fixture thing. I thought I had like a spec on my computer screen. I'm like, bro, how is that? It's a freaking light fixture in her like profile pic. Stop, man, playing with my mind, bro.
Bye.
Yeah, Gabbie, she be out here living a toxic life. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm like, I can't be around nobody like that. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's scary to carry on like that. But anyways, good video as always, guys. If you haven't, make sure you go subscribe to Ray's channel, Hot Tea, her personal channel, Raven Hemi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.